In a medical malpractice trial in New York, why does the judge have us select extra jurors when we're picking a jury? Would you like to learn the answer? Come join me on this quick walk as I share with you the answer to this question. Hi, I'm Gerry Oginski. I'm a New York medical malpractice and personal injury attorney. Okay, so in a medical malpractice case in New York, how many jurors do we select? We select 6 jurors. They are the 6 people who will be deciding whether or not you are slightly more likely right than wrong that what you are claiming is true. Okay, so now imagine that this is a 2 or 3 week trial. Do you think that there could be an instance where one of the jurors might have a problem and not be able to get to court on time? Yeah, that's possible. Maybe they have a child care issue. Maybe they get sick. What happens if we have only 6 jurors and the law requires us to have 6 jurors and one of them cannot make it into court for whatever reason? What do we do then? Simply stop and wait for the juror to show up? Simply stop and not proceed forward for a few days until the juror can come back? The answer is no, that's not what happens. So instead, the judge turns to us and says, listen, when you go down to pick a jury, I also want you to pick 2 or 3 or 4 extra jurors. Now, we call them alternate jurors, but they serve the same exact purpose and the same exact function as the first 6 jurors, with a slight difference, and I'll tell you about that in a second. Okay, so we go ahead and we select those 6 jurors, the first 6 jurors, and then there's still people left in the room. We still need 2 or 3 or 4 extra jurors. Now, do we tell these people that they are going to be extra jurors? The answer is yes, we do. Because there's some people who say, you know what, I don't want to be an extra juror. What happens if the first 6 jurors stay there the entire duration? Then what happens at the end of the trial? Well, the reality is that at the end of the trial, if all 6 jurors have stayed there, guess what? The extra jurors are then thanked for their service, but do not get to participate in deciding a verdict in your case. Some people think, why should I spend all my time and effort and energy to sit and listen to the facts of this case, listen to the law, and guess what? Not have a chance to actually participate in the jury deliberations? No, thank you. So it's important to tell these folks when we are selecting these extra jurors, these alternate jurors, what their function is. But I should tell you, there are many instances where for whatever reason, 1 or more jurors actually do not return back to court, and now we actually have to select 1 or more jurors to take their place. So there are many times when we go ahead with a trial where we actually need to select those alternate jurors. And you might ask, well, how actually are they selected? I'll tell you how they're selected, randomly. So if we need 1 juror, the names of the alternate jurors are then put into a bin, and either I or my adversary will then reach into the bin and at random pick out the name of one of those jurors. So the question is, does this happen often? The reality is yes, it does happen more often than not. And that's why we have alternate jurors, extra jurors, so that in the event that 1 or more of them are unable to continue, now we still have an available group of jurors to select from, and the case can continue on. So why do I share this quick information with you? I share it with you just to give you a sense of exactly what happens during these medical malpractice cases in New York. You know, I understand you're watching this video because you likely have questions or concerns about your own matter. Well, if your matter did happen here in New York and you're thinking of bringing a lawsuit, but haven't done so yet because you still have questions that need to be answered, what I invite you to do is pick up the phone and call me. You know, I answer questions like yours every single day, and I'd love to talk to you. You can reach me at 516-487-8207 or by email at Gerry, Gerry, at Oginski-law.com. That's it for today's video. I'm Gerry Oginski. Have a great day.